It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 dig, go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Ron, Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. Can you talk about the relationship you and Johnny have built over this battle, which you guys have been neck and neck the whole season? And I noticed you rushed down to congratulate him. Talk about the rivalry you have and the friendship you've built through this.
You know, coming down to it, anybody else, the way Johnny and I raced, probably the last, I don't know, when he put two tires on and raced side by side, probably just wanted up and rub the guy. But Johnny didn't come down on me. I didn't come up on him, and that's part of the racing. And little Brian Scott, little snot-nosed kid, come in there, stuck his nose in there, made it 3 wide a couple times, and made it exciting for us points later. So he'll be going for the points later. We'll stick my nose in there too, buddy. But it's all right. Glad to see you run good. No, Johnny and I, we said he wanted to go nose to nose and do burnouts, and it's like I ain't got a scratch in this truck. No testing next year, and it's a pretty good truck, so we're just going to keep it in one piece. So I was going to go to nose to nose and do a pretty good burnout with both of us, but heck, we're going to go to his motorhome and drink his beer now.
Bruce.
Bruce Smart with SI.com. Just to kind of follow up a little bit on Benson. I mean, here's a guy that, you know, for the most part, pretty popular amongst the fellow competitors. A lot of people, you know, like racing with him. And, you know, to kind of see him be, obviously you want to win the championship, but to see him win it as a competitor, how do you feel about that?
I think it stinks. I think I should have won it, but no. I couldn't be more prouder for Johnny Benson. I'm really glad to see that he got an opportunity to do it. I mean, I know he's leaving, Bill Stables next year, and he's moving on. So that's good for Bill Davis and everybody else. That gives him more commodity going into next year. So now Johnny's just a heck of a racer. You haven't seen him take anybody out other than maybe last week when he had brain fade after I had brain fade. So I thought I was stupid last week. He was really stupid wrecking after I already wrecked. So yeah, that's about the only time I ever seen Johnny get in an incident and stuff like that. So when Johnny Benson comes to race, you can lead the whole race, and when the checker flag drops, there he is, second or third. So he's one of them guys that come on the last 50 laps, and it showed it again today.
Bob.
Bob Parker's NASCAR scene. I mean, Ron, are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you disappointed? Or is that just racing?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just racing, but I'm tired of that kind of racing. I mean, we can use every excuse in the book, and we learn by our mistakes. And you know, we've been beat before by 4 tires, and we said today we were going to do it. I'm more frustrated about our radio didn't work because I was going to stay out, and they were yelling at me, screaming at me coming in. And I came in, and when I seen Kevin stay out, I knew I was in trouble. So I couldn't get back up because of the grass line. I mean, I was just about ready to turn it back right, and I would have clipped it, and that would have put me in the tail end longest line. But what really hurt us, a lot of them guys putting 2 tires on there and getting blocked, you know, the last couple laps. Had to run my truck really hard to get around Bush and Benson. They really made the track wide, and he didn't get into me, but he might as well have, making it 3 wide a couple times and turned it sideways. So he drove me like a dog again, and we'll remember it and put it in the memory books.
Claire.
Yeah, Claire BXM. The pit call, had your radio been working, you know, everybody is scratching their heads just wondering how that could have happened. There were crew chiefs out there from the Cup Series, and they were like, we still don't understand the pit deal. So can you explain, had your radio been working?
I'd have stayed out. I'd have told them I was staying out. My truck was that good enough to stay out. I was kind of babying it to know what we had, and it's one of them calls. I'm not going to second guess Rick Rand. I mean, if we'd have came back and won the race, it would have been a call of the century. So we lost it. I mean, that's all there is to it. And we're going to go back and drink a beer over it, and hopefully we'll talk about it. But I don't know, real frustrating to listen to comments being made of another driver telling another driver that I wrecked him, and now it's your chance to go out there this weekend to win the championship. So somebody certainly said that, and I overheard it from about 3 of my good buddies would hang around over there. And it's a shame it comes down to a championship like that, but now I see why it happened.
And if you don't mind, if you would have had your radio, you would have said, I'm staying out, but you would never stay out without having the radio to tell him that.
Right. I think Rick Rinn and Rick Crowley made that decision. We like I said, we've lost a lot of races by 4 tires, and Maybe if we would have put 2 tires on, we would still beat Johnny. But a lot of them guys only came in and put 2 on, and we got back in track position. And you can ask anybody who's going to sit up here tonight. It was hard to pass.
Bob?
Before the restart after the pits, I mean, did you think you had enough to get up to Johnny? And then how much did the late caution, did that help you, or did that kill your chances?
You don't know, because different circumstances. The 09 truck was running at the bottom. Somebody was running the middle, and Johnny was running the top. So, you're sitting duck when you're back there behind there. These things are so air dependent, and it just depends how you get in there. And if you get in there where you can hold it wide open, you're going to be all right. But I had to lift getting in there and set the nose. It got loose and go back around them. But it took more than a couple laps to get around them guys. So that's what hurt. But heck, I don't know. We'll won't do that again.
All right, do we have any other questions for Ron? Any other questions for Ron? Or back? Oh, we have one from upstairs.
Second.
Press box. Oh, never mind. All right, we're clear up here. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, guys.
And now we are also joined by Brian Scott, who finished second tonight. Brian, this was your second highest finish. You finished 4th last week at Phoenix. Why don't you tell us about your night?
Yeah, we just had a real interesting night, a lot of fun. This truck is the same truck we ran at Texas, and it just doesn't have a lot of speed qualifying. It's a real big downforce truck, and when you come to these 1.5 miles, that drag ends up hurting us when we're out there by ourselves taped up. It runs really good in traffic, though. Just from practice yesterday, if there's another truck a straightaway away, just a little disturbance in the air, we'd pick up 2.5 tenths. And I remember it raced really well at Texas, so I knew we were going to have a good truck when the green flag fell, and it fell. We were a little bit different than in practice, but after a long green flag run, we were really good. And Jeff Hensley kept coming on the radio and telling me I was running 10th faster than the leader, 10th faster than the leader, and at that point I knew if we just kept up with adjustments, got our truck a little better, and stayed with the good guys, and got a little track position, we could be there at the end, and we could have a shot for them. And sure enough, as the laps started winding down, we started kind of creeping our way up, and there was the restart before the last one, leading it, and it's the first time I've done a restart. I mean, as a driver, you know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the gas pedal down without spinning the tires, but you got to be right on that edge, especially with people like Todd Bodine or Ron Hornaday or Kyle Busch behind you. They're going to get everything they can get. And I pushed it a little hard, spun the tires, but I knew going into one from what my spotter was saying that I had like three truck lengths. So I opted to take the high line so I'd have momentum coming out, and I didn't expect him to pull up beside me and be drag racing down the backstretch. He had a real good run through that corner, better than me obviously. And when we got to 3, Todd just he drove in there until he cleared me. Win, lose or draw, he was going for the win. I can't blame him for it. I would have done the same thing, and I think it made the race exciting. I tried to get him back there at the end with the same trick, but I didn't quite have all the guts that him and like Carl Edwards did. That was the only thing going through my mind is what Carl did at Kansas. I had a brief moment where I was like, well, maybe I can look like a hero and try to do something like that. Just I got in about to apex, and I said, no, I got to lift. It's not going to work. Just a good night through and through. Guys did an awesome job in the pits, gained positions every stop, and made the truck better. I couldn't ask for any better.
Do we have any questions for Brian? Any questions for Brian? Any questions upstairs?
No questions.
All right, Brian. Thanks so much.
Thanks, you guys.